Hello everyone and welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you every single thing that you need to start your fashion business, the very important ones, and then the ones that you can just buy as add-ons. So now let's get right into that. All right, the first thing you need is a sewing machine, whether manual or industrial. What I have is an industrial, and that's what I'm showing to you. We cannot do the job without a sewing machine. And for the industrial, I always recommend 2 lion. And the next thing is the needle that you're going to use for the sewing machine. For the machine that I use, this is the needle I use. I use organ and I also use violin needle. So you can use either of the two. I use size 14 and size 16. Next up is the industrial weaving machine. You can also get the manual equivalent of this, although I would not advise it. So this is to make sure that the edges of your clothes is properly weaved so that the fabric doesn't fray. Now this is a 3 thread one. There's the 4 and there's the 5. But for just basic sewing, you can use this. Next up is the needle that goes with the weaving machine. This is a DC violin needle. For the other machine, if you notice, it's a DB. This is DC. It is shorter than the other needles. And this is what you need for the weaving machine. Next up is thread. We can't make these clothes without thread. So these are the brands that I use. So you can use any of these. They're strong, they're durable, they don't break so easily. These are the small ones for the small sewing machine that I have in case this is what you want to get. Okay, next up is a cutting table. You're going to need a table that you're going to use to cut and maybe also use the same table to iron. I don't use my own table to iron. I use another table to iron so that I can just be here doing my work without any interruptions. Next up is stool. I have this really long stool for climbing up to get things in the storage, and then I have this short one for sitting, so you can get this too. Next up is a mannequin. You need to put the dress on the mannequin. You can't always wear it, so when you make stuff for customers, let it go on the mannequin. Next up is an iron. For this, I would say please get this type of iron. Don't do all the other experiments. In fact, if you get this type of iron, as much as possible, don't bother using the steam. Just use the iron so it doesn't get bad quickly. Next up is our chalk. Now I use a heat erasable chalk. When you mark this on the fabric and place the iron on it, it cleans off. I like that. Next up is the sewing tape. Of course, we can't do this work without measuring. So next up is the sewing tape. I like those big ones because they are bold. I can see the numbers. I can't be confused. Next up is a clapper. Oh my god, this makes your ironing sweet. Ha! It makes it so sweet, and that's why I added it to the most important things that you need to get. There are other types of clappers, but these are the two that I use. Next up is pattern paper. For those that do pattern drafting, you're going to need the paper to draft out your patterns before transferring it to the fabric. Next is the masking tape. You're going to need this to join your papers because the length of the paper is just 36 and you may be needing 40, 41 sometimes. Next up is all the rulers. The biggest one there is called the master pattern. This one is the hip curve. This one is the straight ruler. And then this last one is the master pattern. If you look at it, you see that it has everything that the other rulers have. It's a combination of all of them. Next is this stainless ruler. This one is actually optional. I got it because it's really long. It's 40 inches long. And I can really straight line. It just makes my work easy as opposed to connecting lines. Next up is our pins. This one, you see this particular one, get this one, the dressmaker pins. They are original. They don't rust if you get the original one. Next up is magnets. So if you don't want to get a pin cushion, if you don't want to spend on a pin cushion, just get a magnet. This would even help hold your pins better. Next up is paper scissors. So these ones you can use for fabric too, but these are paper scissors and they are really durable. So have enough. Then next up is fabric scissors. I use brother and I use pin. So you can get either of the two, 10 inches, both of them are 10 inches. You can get either of the two. They are really good. Next up is machine oil. I'm showing you this one because this is the smallest one. They are the bigger ones. This you would use to oil your machine at different strategic points and at different times. So the next up on our list are zips. So now, if you're making a dress, pants, anything that really has to open up for it to fit properly, then you need to get yourself some really nice zips. This kind of zips, they are called open and close in the market. Invisible zips, caterpillar zips. There's just a plethora of zips you can explore. I mean, if you're just starting, you can explore and you get zips that are really good. For the open and close zip, there's the one called SBS. Those ones are really good. Next up are seam rippers. This is your best friend. When you make a mistake and you need to unravel that seam, you're going to need a seam ripper. So get some, okay? Next up is Fusible interface. The fabrics that I work with, they are not too thick, so I use this really soft one just to augment, just so that my fabric is not moving too much while I'm sewing. My fabrics that I work with, they're not too thick, they're not too lightweight, they're just right there in the middle, and that's why I got this soft fusible interface. Market name is Stay. Just say you're looking for Stay. There's cloth stay, there's paper stay. When you feel the texture, you would know what you want to get. Next up on our list is sewing foot. This is a Teflon foot. What's a Teflon foot? It's a foot that helps you to sew fabrics that stretch very well. Now, if you even add sellotape under this foot, perfect. Your stitches are not going to be jumping at all. This foot really helps. Next on my list is Gada's foot. I have 4 different Gada's foot, but I would highly recommend the one on the far end, not the one I'm holding. That particular Gada's foot is called the P950. So if you see the P950, please pick that one. It is 2 in 1. It's really good. So that way you don't even have to buy any other foot. I just like to try things, and that's why I have multiple. This one is a P5W. They said it helps to sew your gathers, and then you can also sew like a straight stitch at the same time. If you notice there's space under, but it definitely was not as easy as it looked in the marketing material. So just get this one that I'm currently holding. This one is the best of all 4 of them. Okay, the next on our list is the zip foot. It's called the left right zip foot. This foot, it makes sewing your zips a breeze. It makes it far too easy. Listen, make sure you buy this foot. Don't be struggling to sew zips with regular foot. This one is the truth. Have you subscribed? So what are you waiting for? Subscribe so that the video can continue. Now, next up on our list is a bodkin. These parts of this video are things that are nice to have, but you can do without them. You are going to use a bodkin to pass thread, elastic, or whatever it is really. This can also be done with a safety pin. So if you don't find a bodkin, you can use a safety pin. Next up is elastic. Depending on what you're sewing, it's possible that when you start out, you may not even need an elastic for a really long time. So depending on what you're sewing, get this elastic. Also get this other type of elastic. I use these bolder ones for the trouser band. So you can get this one as well. It's really, really good. It's really, really good. Next on our list is the bobbin storage. I have 2 types of storage. I have this box type and I have the Seco silicone type. Anyone is fine. I just have a lot of bobbins and I just really, really needed to store them so that they are not all over the place. That's why I have these 2. Now you can just use a regular container for this. You don't have to buy a case. Next up is the Snipe scissors. This scissors just helps with, after sewing, you cut your thread easily as opposed to carrying a 10-inch scissors just because you want to cut one small thread. Again, you can do without these babies. I just got them because they make my life really easy, very easy to notch or clip. Next up is an owl. Oh, I don't even know how this thing is pronounced. But yeah, this helps me to poke out sharp corners like pocket corners or collar corners. Next up is a foot changer. Just look at how easy my foot comes off here. I don't like a screw. My screw got bad and I stopped and changed to this. This one, really good. Next up is a loop turner. You can use this to turn your belt or your rope, whatever it is you sew, and it can turn even as little as a rope that is as tiny as 0.2. So you should get this too. Next up is a pin cushion. Remember, I already showed you a magnet. If you cannot get a pin cushion, please just get a magnet. But a pin cushion is really nice to have. Next up is a seam guide. There are 2 different types of seam guides. This seam guide, the really big one, and then the smaller seam guide. So any one you get is fine. Again, you can do without this, okay? Next up is my rotary cutter. Now for this rotary cutter, you have to be changing blade. Also, you need a self-healing mat. You can't use it without the mat. If not, you're just going to be cutting what's under. This is the blade. Like I said before, you can do without it. You can use your scissors. This is the self-healing mat itself. Mine is A1 mat. That's the size I mean. So there's A1, A2, A3, A4. So this is A1. I think A0 is the biggest. You can't use a rotary cutter without a self-healing mat. So just even save yourself the entire stress. If you know you just want to use the scissors, please use the scissors. It will still do the work. Next on our list is the hemming gum. After sewing your facing, this is a really nice thing to use to glue your facing down so that it's not coming off. You can always tack, but this is good. Next up is buttons. Depending on what you're sewing, you will need buttons. They're just sewing accessories. If what you're sewing doesn't require buttons, you are good to go. You do not necessarily have to get them. Next up is bias tape. It gives a really good finish. So you use this to turn necklines, use it to turn sleeves, use it to turn even the hem of a dress, depending on what the style is. So these are really, really versatile and are good to have. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I didn't forget anything. If I forgot anything and it came to your mind, please put it in the comment section so that those that need the information can have that information. I hope you subscribed. I hope you subscribed. Thank you. Bye.